In the past 4 months, allegations against YouTube's largest creator, MrBeast, have been popping out from 3 people, 2 of which being former employees, Dogpack404 and Jake Weddle, and 1 being a former contestant at a MrBeast game, that being Rosanna Pansino. However, 4 months later, it will be proven that most of these allegations were false. Here is the entire MrBeast drama explained, from all the lies to all the storylines, and maybe to some of the truths. To understand the MrBeast drama, we would first have to go back in July, where one of MrBeast's best friends was getting into controversy. In late July, Ava Chris Tyson was getting exposed for possessing Wally and showing porn to little kids. Ava Chris Tyson would respond, and the response was horrible, where she basically admitted to almost everything. And Dogpack404 used the controversy against Ava Chris Tyson, seeing how some people were hating MrBeast for the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. He decided to use that to push his own videos, basically making allegations against MrBeast. First video being, "I worked for MrBeast, he's a fraud." In that video, he said how MrBeast was allegedly rigging competitions and in a favorable position to a certain person or group of people, like for the 100 boys versus 100 girls competition.
No. But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, buildings are CGI, and that's your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker, it's just a guy. This whole room is fake, this contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They haven't got through this fake door twice, this line is scripted, this action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
You did it! Yeah! What we did was scripted? Holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
Let's talk about Mac for a second.
We will die. Do you understand that?
Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast, and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees, or just the employees themselves. And when they do pull someone from outside of North Carolina, it's usually somebody who's in the industry, who's camera trained, who has built a following.
Hey, anyone I'm friends with watching that wants 10 grand?
They are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million. What's even worse is that the results of this video were completely scripted. According to a former MrBeast employee, it would have been a PR problem if the boys had won by a lot. And because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer. You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money. But doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
The boys were blowing you out of the water. I paid the one guy who got a solvent to leave. Now if you don't win, that was all for nothing.
At another point, he gives the girls a camera drone so they would have been able to see how many boys were left. It doesn't work out, but seeing how much they're willing to help them on camera, I'm willing to believe that they did, in fact, help them off camera. Apparently, at the end, they were only monitoring the boys to see if they stepped on the red line and not the girls, so that the girls would win the challenge. And to be clear, obviously the girls had an unfair start with having so many MrBeast employees get out immediately. You know, I think they all did deserve $5,000 for that, but also the boys should deserve a fair chance at winning, I think. I think that's the expectation when you run a game show. But hey, that was a while ago, so I'm just glad they're not doing another rigged boys versus girls video. So knowing that MrBeast likes the results to be close and that offstage producers can sort of influence how a challenge progresses, I want to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. Now immediately the intro is sped up, and the timer is clearly added in post, and he clearly touches the laser here, but whatever, let's assume that it's all real time. When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water. So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water. And assuming they've tested this, the producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close. And in this video, spoiler alert, the contestant wins the money. So rigging the challenge could be seen as a good thing, but there are many examples of contestants losing.
And even alleged that he did illegal lotteries. Only one was proven to be true. Another allegation he said was how MrBeast was doing fake signatures, which, according to him, devalues a signature.
With a really big video, then we will sign that shirt, and some of them will get random prizes like this. In 10 minutes, right, because we gotta give them time to do their card, we'll give 2 orders $500 each. 5 minutes, someone's getting $3 grand in someone. In 5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order. 2 minutes, newest order. It's $2,000. Good luck, everybody.
So this was a 6-hour live stream. They took it down off YouTube, but 5 hours of it are still up on their Facebook page. And during those 5 hours, I counted 46 illegal lotteries. These lotteries are also run poorly. Multiple times they would say something like, buy in the next 5 minutes for a chance to win. And then 7 minutes later go, actually, the newest order in 30 seconds is gonna win.
In 5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order. Hey, Daryl, don't we owe someone $1,000? We do. Yeah, so, all right, so the newest order, in 30 seconds, we are gonna put $1,000 in your package.
Stephen K.
Okay.
And there was no second giveaway 30 seconds later, like Jimmy said. This is just one very shady giveaway. They just want to talk about how Stephen made a profit.
Stephen's a handsome name.
So yeah, walk away with that.
We're proud of you, Stephen.
I counted 13 of these extra shady lotteries where they did not give the prize in the original time frame that they said.
Okay, so we're gonna put 2 iPhones in this pinata, and we're gonna give it to someone who orders a shirt in 3 minutes? 5 minutes. Buy a limited edition shirt or hoodie, and we're gonna pick a random one in 10 minutes and give them $2,000. Have we done iPhones yet? Oh, we did one. Oh, wait. Hey, Daryl, first, actually, before we do that, we never picked the pinata.
So these clearly fit the definition of an illegal lottery. These clips are also not out of context. No one ever said no purchase necessary. There's nothing in the description or on the website. At one point, Mr. Beast is informed that they ran out of PlayStations, and he says, are we trying to not sell merch?
Our city is sold out of PlayStations. We don't have any. We have to give up. Are we trying to not sell merch?
So he clearly knows that they're making more money by running these illegal lotteries. Another shady thing he did was constantly suggest that they're doing too many giveaways to make a profit.
My guy over there doing the numbers is like, stop, please. Like, you do realize every time you give away an Xbox and $1,000, you don't make money. I'm like, oh, I know we're not gonna make money. What are we doing, guys? We're gonna check after the stream. It's gonna be like, oh, no. What a waste. Yeah, I know. We're gonna break neutral.
And there's just no way they were ever even close to losing money on the stream.
I don't know who this is, but you just got a pair of AirPods. Oh my gosh, we're not making money. Guys, we need to stop giving everyone something. Just like almost everything that someone's bought, we put something in their package. I'm not gonna make money.
In 5 hours, they gave away about $50,000 worth of stuff and sold over 50,000 t-shirts. Selling these t-shirts at $42 each, profit margin would be about $22. But even if they were making like $1 per shirt, they would still be fine. Also, by my estimates, only 1 in every 1,600 orders actually won a prize. And I guarantee he has real-time analytics on his laptop. He knows they make more money every time he says, oh my God, guys, we're giving away so much stuff. We're not even gonna make a profit. Please, don't you want me to make a profit? That's why he keeps saying it. Also, they just don't show how winners are picked. So it's probably not actually random. If the video of this live stream ever resurfaces, I think a lot of these claims will be proven true, which Mr. Beast definitely has this stream saved. He saves all his footage. So I'll ask you, Jimmy, will you publish this to prove your innocence? Also, using archive.org, we can see what the website looked like on the day of the stream, and while there's no mention of any sweepstakes whatsoever, it does say this limited tee signed by Mr. Beast and crew, but the description says it's signed by a member of the Mr. Beast crew, and it doesn't say anywhere that other members will sign MB, deceiving people into believing it was signed by Mr. Beast. So here's a clip of Tyler using Mr. Beast's signature. So Tyler signs MB, which is Mr. Beast's signature, and he covers it, signs his own initials, TC, smirks, looks around, and then quickly slides the shirt away. Could you make it any more obvious? You know, you don't accidentally have someone else's signature as muscle memory. And again, I'm not a lawyer, I think this is fraud. Maybe they could say it's the brand's signature, even though it's clearly implied that this is Jimmy's signature, which was established during the last live stream.
Oh. Hey, MB, Mr. Beast. So this is Mr. Beast's signature?
No way, this one was signed by Mr. Beast. It's just got the MB, but that means it's signed by Mr. Beast. That's obviously his, Mr. Beast. This is so cool. That's obviously his, Mr. Beast.
You know, some people bought these shirts as collector's items or even investments, and this puts into question the authenticity of all Mr. Beast signed merch, which otherwise could have been very valuable one day. This was clearly muscle memory, and judging by his body language, he knew he exposed this. Even Tariq notices Tyler slip up and immediately looks into the camera, looks guilty, and then readjusts his body and rubs his hands together. Also, Mr. Beast said during the live stream that this is the last time he'd ever sign anything, and that was just a lie. Illegal lotteries targeted towards children and selling fake signatures. I mean, imagine if any other YouTuber was caught doing this.
You're very smart with your money. The guy who just throws away millions of dollars on YouTube videos as a gambler. Who would have thought?
At this point, Mr. Beast noticed a problem with these CTA giveaways. I mean, obviously they're illegal, but more importantly, they're not as profitable as they could be. Look at it like this. There are 2 value propositions at play here. The perceived value of the product and the perceived value of the chance to win a prize. So for something like these $42 t-shirts, if the viewer values the chance to be in a video at $10, they need to value the t-shirt at an additional $32 to make the purchase. So the more expensive the product, the less effective the lottery is. You want to get the product as close to $0 as possible, so people are just paying for the perceived value of the lottery. That's what's most profitable because humans can't accurately comprehend the difference between 1 in a million odds versus 1 in a billion odds. They both kind of just compute as, I have a small chance to win, which Mr. Beast is well aware of this flaw in human mental arithmetic.
Past a certain point, the average human is like, large sum of money, click. And like, larger sum of money doesn't really impact the viewing experience.
So also, the larger your audience is, the more profitable a lottery will be. Anyway, Mr. Beast wanted the cheapest product possible to use for these CTA giveaways. Basically a piece of paper, but you obviously couldn't sell a piece of paper without getting backlash. So in January 2021, 3 months after the last shirt signing stream, Mr. Beast did a live stream where for only $10, viewers could send a picture to the moon. Wait, JPEGs that are going to the moon? And of course, he did more illegal lotteries.
Just to keep things fun and interesting, as if putting a photo on the moon. It's interesting enough. Someone who put the photo on the moon, or if you buy the bundle, whatever, in the next 30 minutes, we'll just fly you down to.
After the first video, he decided to make another video on Mr. Beast, that exposing him for much more serious allegations, including hiring a registered sex offender intentionally and mistreating Jake Weddle in a challenge.
And it got to a point where like they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time lapse shots. The time lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep. And I have insomnia problems now, but they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, you know, they're giving me, you know, melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just a sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And like you can, you know, if someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can start a job after you're on the, that's one thing. So you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think we should get the rehabilitation inspection. But that guy, from what I hear, like I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that. He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around whenever he is. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender? With a physical mask? Like, do I have to, is it more on the nose, or?
However, more would come on the situation as we get more information on these allegations and MrBeast's responses himself. However, Dogpack's next will finally start showing the cracks in his reliability. In his third video, he would include allegations against MrBeast's cousin for DV and his COO for the MrBeast company, Lakoya Hill of RAPE. However, it turns out that one of these allegations have already been proven false less than a month later by Dogpack himself. He just needed to wait for information. It turns out the James Warren that he was accusing of DV was actually the wrong James Warren. So he basically just made slander. That right there was the first in Dogpack's allegations and reliability. Later, Rosanna Pansino and Doc would work together to make allegations that MrBeast faked his philanthropy videos, one of them including building 100 wells in Africa. However, it was been proven that it was just an editing error and that they did build 100 wells in Africa.
They were so willing to make charity fraud accusations with such little evidence. MrBeast Philanthropy built 100 wells in Africa, and because the editors reused the same shot twice, well, that means it must be fake.
Really, the most damning thing against MrBeast is that he has faked parts of his philanthropy videos in a way where he's making it look like they did more than they actually did. Here's one where he claimed to build 100 wells, but in multiple shots you see the same wells listed as different wells. Well 29 and 67 were the same. He also said he built a bunch of wells in Kenya, but then showed wells that were clearly built in Zimbabwe.
Like, bro, you need more evidence than a shot being reused. Maybe the film crew couldn't be there, maybe the footage corrupted. MrBeast claims it's an editing error.
Yeah, I think like one or two of the wells we accidentally showed this like same well as different numbers. But once again, like I said with the blind thing, like why would I spend 98% of the money and then just fake 2 wells, like and destroy the entire integrity to save like 2%? Anyone who made those videos like saying the philanthropy is fake, like that's the one that bothers me the most because we go so above and beyond. Like honestly, if you could just delete them, like that'd be great.
These sort of allegations have hurt the philanthropy's ability to get sponsors and fund new projects.
That like spooked off a lot of people because they're like, oh, so this charity's not authentic. Because like obviously people don't want to work with a charity that's not legit.
This video is also still up. This investigation that Dogpack and Rosanna have been running is so scuffed. Dogpack admits that he's just been swinging accusations at the wall and
after all these allegations came out, this is where Soggy Cereal comes in. Soggy Cereal is a commentary YouTuber who's known for your typical type of drama commentary YouTuber. In October of this year, he released a video titled The Dangers of Slop Content, where he basically calls out people in the commentary community for doing poor research, though he ended up deleting the video later because he admitted himself that he'd done poor research on these commentary videos, but Dogpack would use that in a way that would benefit him, and same thing with other YouTubers as well. In a WestJet response video to Soggy Cereal, Dogpack 404 was featured in it. In it, he said he debunked some claims made by Soggy Cereal that he is a creep because he made a video idea for MrBeast that was called I Bought 1,000 Boo. Dogpack then responded saying that it's just meant to be like for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. However, For me, I think that's just weird. I think it's just weird. Not the fact that it's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but the fact that you would claim it as Mr. Beast saying, I bought 1,000 of these, but then make it like clickbait. And you said yourself that Mr. Beast's audience is full of kids, so why would they even like that? And why would you show a video of that to kids? Like, that's just weird. He would also then say that he's gonna expose a Mr. Beast work group chat for having CP. The video then came out of Rosanna Pansino and Dogpack showing allegedly that the Mr. Beast work group chat had CP that was featured Ava Chris Tyson out of all people. Now, it is true Ava Chris Tyson is a degen. However, what is not true is the CP itself. CP in question is featured of Ivanka Trump, who unironically is the daughter of our future president Donald Trump when she was 13. But it turns out it wasn't when she was 13, it was actually when she was 18 on a GQ magazine in 2020, where she would probably be around like 18 or possibly 19. Even after the CP allegations were proven to be false, they still kept the video up, further decreasing their reliability. However, the next bombshell would come out from Soggy Cereal himself. In the Soggy Cereal video, he basically disproves almost everything. He disproves how none of the contestants are never random subscribers. He disproves 2 out of the 3 illegal lotteries, one of them having a purchase necessary, so that's illegal.
One thing I have to clarify for everyone, and that is the illegal lottery number 1, which on my flight back, I finally found some proof that the first illegal lottery was in fact illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description, no mention of it at all. Yeah, it was illegal.
He disproves how Feastables is unhealthier than Hershey's because Dogpack used a way different comparison. He disproved how there was no safety when there was literally a safety in like a challenge. He basically disproved the James Warren allegations, and he disproved how Delaware, who was the person Jimmy hired that turned out to be a sexual abuser, was representing something that was messed up and that he was banished from Delaware, and that's his name because of that. And no, that ends up not being the reason because it's rare for a statement to happen. He also disproves how 7 Days at Sea were fake, the CP allegations were fake, how videos were rigged, the moon landing stuff was rigged, and how the luxurious thing was fake. However, there was some things that he did prove that were real. Some being Ava Chris Tyson is a degenerate, which is very real, and Jake Weddle did go through that stuff. Jimmy actually responded to this before. Jake Weddle showed a text message from Jimmy. He ended up giving like $50K after the second video came out. And he also proves that illegal lottery number 1 was actually illegal because there wasn't purchase necessary. He also disproves how Mr. Beast suggested a pedophile's type of anime signature fraud, a car that was digitally lifted in a car challenge, a fake Samsung giveaway, and a fake train pit. And also how the 100 boys vs 100 girls challenge was not faked because some of the contestants had to be replaced because of COVID. Kind of ironic coming from Dogpack because he always preaches about safety and all that. After the Soggy Cereal video came out, this prompted a response by Mr. Beast to most of these allegations. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the responses because that will take a very long time, but what I will go through is some of them, or at least like the main stuff. One is the response on why he was silent for so long. The reason he was silent for so long was actually because of legal reasons. After the Chris Tyson stuff was happening, he was doing an investigation into his company on other illegal stuff that might have been happening. And so, because of the illegal stuff, his lawyers advised him not to say anything about any type of drama because it could impact the investigation's integrity.
And part of that investigation is they recommended that I not talk about drama or really do anything online because it might influence, witnesses or any people they might interview or ex-employees. So it's a little unfortunate because I told them, okay, I'll wait till the investigation is over. I believe that was literally like a week before the Dogpack video came out. And then, truthfully, just in transparency, I've never done one of these like big investigations before. And in my head, it was going to last like 2 or 3 weeks. It ended up taking a couple months. Apparently, combing through all the documents and doing all the interviews and everything just took way longer than I thought because I've never had to bring in a top tier law firm and a former federal prosecutor and let him, do this really big thing. And so that kind of concluded a couple of weeks ago when I put out the tweet of the follow-up. Like that was the day I got the conclusion of it. And I was like, okay, in transparency, I'll throw this out. So up until that point, it was, I told Quinn Emanuel that, to protect the integrity, I wouldn't do anything or engage in any of this drama. And then after that, like you said, a lot of stuff had come out between when the investigation started and when it ended. And I was just kind of like, whoa, I don't really know how to like hit this stuff. And I made like a little response video, but it's just kind of not my style where I just kind of like put a lot of the information that I assume we're going to talk about here out. And it just felt weird. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I've never been in a situation where people have thrown this much stuff at me, and I definitely could have handled it better. Like, I probably should have, like, the second I could have talked, like, don't remember the exact date, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we put that report out. Probably should have done something like this right then. If I could go back in time, I would. And yeah, that's kind of like the brain dump, and then here I am.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, you answered it towards the end, but like, do you regret that, obviously?
Yeah, if I could go back in time, I would do what we're doing here, because I assume this is like the correct format. It's gonna be a little bit more free flowing and natural, and I wouldn't have wasted so much time like trying to do responses. It's just not my thing. It's I like so much better, or I'm assuming, I mean, we just started, but I think I would like so much better being asked the questions and answer instead of just like sitting in a chair like this answering it. It just feels a little more natural.
Gotcha. Yeah.
In his response on rampant use of CGI, he wants to use CGI only when absolutely necessary.
So, why do you choose to use it?
Good question. And yes, I do think rampant use of CGI can undermine it, and I try to do my best to be transparent. Did you ever see So Crispy's video where they showed the behind the scenes of our Squid Game video?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so we've done that. We've done lots of BTS videos on them, and we've done other BTS videos. So I try to show it transparently, but let me think about it. I mean, honestly, the truth is, like, obviously there are channels like Corridor Digital and stuff like that, but do you really think of any like entertainment channels like mine that really do this, like even have the budgets to kind of do this kind of stuff? It's something I've always thought a lot about, because like we're really pushing boundaries, and like I want to like keep leveling things up, and I think that's a cool way to do it. But it's not like there's some like playbook on how to like incorporate it, right? Because no one else really does it. Like something I was thinking about is like also we rarely use it. Like, I mean, maybe like 0.5%, 0.1% of my shots. Like if we have like a background that like doesn't look too cool, like it's just like black, but it looks a little off, we'll just like darken it out in post. Like that's like majority of what we do, or sometimes we'll extend a set. But I was thinking like when we do, because bro, we pour millions of dollars into these videos. We build massive sets. Like we go through so much links to make these huge videos. And the last thing I want is people to be like questioning whether or not things are CGI. I mean, like the sets we build are fucking crazy, man. Like it's wild. Like you should come see the like behind the scenes of it. I mean, sometimes we spend 100 days just literally building one room for one shot of one video. So yeah, I was thinking like maybe just potentially, I don't know, this is the first time I'm saying it publicly, like time stamping in the description when we do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, or like having some like gimmicky thing where like whatever we do, we like put like a little Beast logo on it, so it's like a thing that if people wanted to identify, they could. I mean, I'm down to figure something out. I mean, we just don't really use it that much. It's just like a thing few and far between. But what I really don't want is people to not be able to trust my videos just because occasionally I want to make a wall blacker, or like I want to extend a set a little bit just to make it look cooler, and like you feel in tune with it. Because what we do on its own.
Mr. Beast then talks about illegal lotteries and illegal lotteries that he probably performed. He denies any doing of any illegal lotteries and recommends that we watch Soggy Cereal's video. And seeing how I myself have watched Soggy Cereal's video, one of them is illegal actually, because if there's a lottery done privately and there is no purchase necessary, then it's illegal. And Jimmy has to take accountability for that.
Any steps taken to prevent this? What is your just perspective on that?
Yes. So I don't think we did. I have people looking into it and like trying to pull the footage and figure it out. He disproved the two, which I mean, those were crazy. I don't want to just like speculate. I have a team looking into it. I don't think we did though. But regardless, just to be truthful, if people want a refund or think for whatever reason like we did something wrong, like I'll send you a link that you can just put in the description where they can get a refund. Maybe just throw it on the screen here. Okay. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's all I really have to say. Maybe I could do a follow-up in the future. I'm trying to, dig up all the footage from that live stream. This was like many years ago. Like this isn't like something I did 3 months ago.
Yeah, COVID.
Jimmy also says that use of child slave labor for making chocolate and insider trader using crypto as false.
Report. Well, so I'll start off with the report. I mean, most people probably haven't even read it, but that's what kind of spawned that whole thing. Was this? Did you see it? Like, yeah. So the gist of this crypto report that was. 1 second. Sorry. Stop. The gist of this report was Jimmy is too stupid to like make this kind of money, therefore it must be insider trading. This is his wallet, clearly there's insider trading because he never would have been able to make this kind of money. When in reality, which is what I told Coffee in that statement we gave him, it was managed by a fund. So I wasn't the one managing the wallet. And, I've never had access to that wallet. I've never done the buying and selling of that wallet. There's an actual professional who's written books on crypto and lived and breathes crypto every single day managing it. So most of the allegations there are just answered by I am too stupid to do that. That's why a fund was managing it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, like Coffee said, if he literally said this in a video. If you like Jimmy, then you're like, yeah, he has answers for everything, and this checks out. And if you don't like Jimmy, then you're gonna go, there's obviously wrongdoing here. But yeah, I mean, the honest truth is I make videos, I'm running 7 businesses, I got a lot going on, and yeah, I invest in a crypto fund, they invest on my behalf, and I've never had access to that wallet. They're the one doing the buying and selling. I mean, there are thousands of transactions on there. I don't even have that kind of time. I'm sure you could probably even look at it and see days where I was maybe in solitary confinement or doing a video where I didn't even have access to a computer and there's trading. True. So for the conspiracy theorists that think I'm lying and using the fund as a cover up, I mean, there's gotta be some way where you could just figure that out, where I was on a plane ride or something. But yeah, that's the honest transparency is, I was in a crypto fund and people thought I owned the wallet because it's called Wu-Tang Clan. Do you listen to Wu-Tang Clan?
I have, yes.
I don't. So I feel like that's another indicator. I wouldn't have named it Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. I had to educate myself on what Wu-Tang Clan was. So Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Living and breathing this for the last 15 years is Tony. The company that is the gold standard that has been living and breathing this for the last 15 years is Tony's Open Chain, or Tony's Chocolonely. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal. They are nuts about this stuff. Like they've done all the research. They live and breathe it, like on how to eliminate child labor, how to best support the farmers, how to everything you can think of, which I'm about to go in depth on. And so I was like, hey, I need to talk to these guys. These guys know what they're doing. And so I spent a lot of time with them, and we actually formed a joint partnership with where we sourced through Tony's Open Chain with Feastables and Tony's Open Chain when we were moving over there. And this has been a thing well before the controversy. Before anyone says, oh, it's only because of controversy, it's a thing before the controversy. And basically 100% of Feastables cocoa is fair trade certified, which is expensive. It's basically the most expensive certification you can have on it, which for most chocolate companies would be enough. You get your cocoa fair trade certified, and then like, do you even know what fair trade certified means? Okay, do you think of yours? No. So if someone was like, you're unethical, and I just said, my beans are fair trade certified, my chocolate, 99% of people would be like, okay, good enough, that makes sense. So like, I could have just hid behind that, but I didn't think fair trade, I don't think that's enough. And so not only are 100% of Feastables beans fair trade certified, but 100% of them, we also pay a living income reference price. Have I mentioned any of this to you before? Yeah. Okay, so 100 living income reference price. So basically, this is why it's hilarious how people are like claiming we unethically source our cocoa. I'm ready to lay this out because everyone who said I use slave labor and I don't care, I hope you delete your videos because you were literally spreading severe disinformation. So for us, one of the main drivers of child labor in cocoa is poverty. Like they don't make enough money. So you can't just go to a farmer and say, don't use child labor, because if they can't afford to pay a grown up, then you're telling them, hey, go starve. They have to make money. So one of the ways you can eliminate child labor is you have to pay a living income. So there's a thing called living income reference price where they look at, and tell me if I need to dumb it down or whatever, I don't know. But they look at inflation, cost of bread, basically the cost of living in these areas in West Africa. They say, hey, if a farmer sells you a metric ton of cocoa, they need to get paid blank to actually be able to live. If you're paying under that, it's just not reasonable for them to live, which then will mean for them to live, they would have to use child labor. So 100% of our beans would pay living income reference price. So if a farmer theoretically sold us a metric ton of cocoa for, I'll make up a number, $800, and the living income reference price is $1,000, we'll go, hey, we actually want to pay you $1,000 for that, a $200 premium on top of it to make sure you make enough money to live off of. And that's what we do for all our beans, which is like crazy, you know what I mean? But if we're doing this, we don't want child labor on the farms. And so there's child labor mediation system. There's a lot of stuff. And this is where Tony's has been great to work with. We have people who check in on the farms and, interview the families, interview the kids. If there are cases, remediate it, follow up, make sure the case was remediated. And it's about part of solving child labor is making sure the farmers make more money. So we also have coaches that will work with farms to, on their theoretical hectare, see if there's any way they can educate them so they can get 10% more yield. So for the same farm, they can make 10% more money. Therefore, they're not as in poverty. So it's easier.
When asked if he sued Dogpack, he looks very stressed and said that said once they'd done the draft, he might do it. And seeing the expression on his face, he's probably thinking, I'm gonna sue this son of a b****.
Are you gonna sue Dogpack?
Well, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting it online. Tons and tons and tons of that. Soggy has basically an hour and 27-minute video, and an hour of it is just flat out proving manipulation and lies and caused a lot of harm to my businesses. I mean, I've literally had people pull out millions of dollars and then tell me it was directly because of his video. Don't worry, I instantly was like, can you send that in writing? So, if I win a case or anything, I can directly point damages. No reason why. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably gonna have to. I mean, it's just, I mean, when you do, if someone's just spreading misinformation about you and, just causing harm to your business and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it costs you so much revenue. It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies. You know what I mean? It's just sad, it's not a thing I take joy in, but
right. Yeah. So, okay. So yes.
They're not done drafting it up, but once they're done, more than likely, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
every law firm I've talked to, they're like, this would be the easiest win they've ever seen in their life. I mean, it's like crazy. I had one tell me like you could chop up all the evidence into like sue three separate times and win all three cases because you'd have enough for each. Like one person I was talking to, he's won like 67 out of his last 70 cases, and he's like, this would be literally the easiest case I've ever done. Like it's because there's just so much blatant, misinformation and lies spread. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just go watch Soggy's video. Go look at his Twitter where he's redacted multiple ones of it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
In that video, Soggy Cereal also proves how Dogpack is making most of the false allegations because he got fired from MrBeast. And how Soggy Cereal is making the Dogpack exposed video and how some things about MrBeast being wrong are true after Dogpack called him overdramatic while Soggy was trying to make sure things were right. So there's a lot of storylines going on over here. So after recapping on the whole MrBeast drama, here are things that what I believe to be false from Dogpack 404 and Rosanna Pansino. Contestants being never random subscribers, 2 out of the 3 illegal lotteries, faking challenges, Feastables being less healthy than Hershey's, moon landing scam, Feastables child labor, Mac living in a luxurious mansion, the production yacht, the 7-day stranded at sea video being false, and 100 Boys vs 100 Girls video being false. And also the CP allegations, faking philanthropy, knowing Delaware was a sexual abuser, and Delaware meaning a messed up name, or that Delaware meant that he was banished from Delaware. That is also something that has been debunked by Jake the Viking. Delaware's brother-in-law. He said that Delaware sat down with Jimmy's mom and Jimmy, who is Mr. Beast, and told him that he was a registered sex offender for doing heinous stuff. However, it has been proven that he didn't know about the allegations and how Mr. Beast never was sat down with his mom and Delaware told him that. So either that's what Delaware told Jake the Viking or he's pulling that out of his ass. There's also other stuff that have been proven as false allegations. Like, for example, the James Warren case, and also possibly the Beast Games one, depending on how I saw Stucky's video. Now, there is some stuff that I believe that are shady. That being the LaCoya Hill stuff, because we haven't actually gotten a response from Jimmy himself about that, because Ubuntu didn't tell him that. And also the crypto stuff as well, because he did misrepresent CoffeeZilla's words in some of it. CoffeeZilla responded, and he wasn't happy with Jimmy. Now, there is stuff that is true. How Jake Weddle was treated in a challenge, Mr. Beast hiring a sex offender, but unintentionally, and one of the illegal lotteries. And also the fact that Ava Chris Tyson is a degenerate. All of that stuff Jimmy should take accountability for, and for the Chris Tyson stuff, Jimmy said that he never knew about the stuff that Chris Tyson was doing. He also said that he never knew that the lolly art that he saw was from Shadman. And once he did find out, he thought it was disgusting. Now, before we're going to end the video today, I think it's important that we need to talk about how we pursue allegations like this on the internet. Because in the internet, it's basically a trend where you basically jump on allegations just like that. And it's not healthy. You got to do innocent till proven guilty. You can't do guilty till proven innocent. You're automatically innocent or you're automatically guilty. That's just not possible. Because without innocent till proven guilty, people's lives can be destroyed. And seeing how the internet is basically a place of guilty till proven innocent, many lives have been destroyed because of that. Dream, Georgia Not Found, and a whole bunch of others, like Mr. Beast himself. Like, their reputations are ruined because of that. So please, whenever you see allegations like this, please make sure you take things with a grain of salt and not automatically jump on the bandwagon and automatically think that they're guilty or innocent. Oh, and Jimmy, stop doing collabs with Logan Paul.
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
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 Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!